Straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. It shall lead them
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We are doing I was thinking about naming it a midnight mass, considering the homie, the Pope, died, but I decided against it. I didn't know if that would be construed as disrespectful, and I don't know what songs we're doing. So, yeah. So I didn't want to be disrespectful. But for all the people that love the homie, the Pope, the most recent Pope that RIP'd, rest in peace to the homie, eternal memory, all that jazz. Let's get right into it. Do we have any intros?
Tonight is...
Surprise, DJ Director Mike, DJ Mike. He's got all the titles, to be honest with you. Has got us a surprise kind of pop-up show.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and so
all right, so
let's do it.
Actually, he doesn't even have a description for this first song. We're going to get right into it.
Does he have any intros or anything like that?
No.
All right, let's just get right into it.
First song right here in the lyrics.
That be what that be.
The first song that we have on our list is Sylosis, and the name of the song is The River. So
All right.
There's your intro. I'll take a timestamp, though.
Yeah.
Sylosis, The River. For the big homie, DJ Franco.
Timestamp is, let's just do 6 minutes even.
6 minutes even. Let's do it.
All right, the River Sylosis. Let's go now. right, that was Sylosis. What was the name of that song?
The River.
The River.
Wow.
Okay, that was The River by the band Sylosis.
Yeah, that
Holy
was really beautiful.
Smoky
That
smokes.
got like intense. It was glorious at some point. I actually don't know what the lyrics are here because I just like shut my eyes and was just vibing with it. It was
Yeah, strong start to the night indeed.
very strong start. I really, really, really liked this one.
Okay, a silhouette in the light. It's interesting. A face hidden beneath a bone veil.
A bone veil. Okay.
The winds sound like a distant voice, a wolf in sheep's clothing, a martyr beneath a mirror. So these are all things that are kind of appositional to each other.
A martyr beneath a mirror?
Maybe he's thinking about himself. Maybe he's thinking, every whisper I hear, every breath down the back of my neck, senses can be fooled so easily, but this runs deeper. This is in my bones. Counting down the days, dragging out the weight, blurred lines evade the light, a wolf in sheep's clothing, a martyr's disguise. So this is somebody that's playing the martyr, playing the victim, when in reality they're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if he's looking at himself because he's saying initially that the martyr was beneath a mirror.
Yeah.
Now, usually when people use mirror, it's talking about like some sort of self-reflection type.
Well, the name of the
thing.
song is The River, and I was watching some Black Mirror episodes, and Zoe shuts up. She puts up the thing. It says Black Mirror, and then she shuts the TV off, and so it's just a black reflective screen, a black mirror.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like, yo! So I don't know, maybe there's some of that in there. Martyr
I
beneath
see.
a mirror, or maybe it's because it's called The River, so maybe it's a martyr beneath, like, the river.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of that. Okay. That makes a lot of sense actually. All right. So maybe the guy is. Yeah. Maybe the guy is.
Maybe
is,
he's drowning
is
himself,
drowned. Somebody
or-
drowned him.
Yeah.
Somebody drowned homie in the river. Yikes.
I don't understand, though, a face hidden beneath a bone veil.
That's probably like saying that the person is two-faced. Like, because your face is made up out of bones.
Yeah.
But what you're projecting is not what you really are, type of thing. So it's the
A
person's.
bone veil. Oh.
Yeah, it's the face that you have that you present to the world is the veil. It's not really true because it's hiding what's really inside of you, which goes along with the wolf in sheep's clothing thing.
Yeah.
Like this person was lying the whole time, was a wolf in sheep's clothing, and then he made a martyr out of himself, or etc.
Look, then he says, every whisper I hear, every breath down the back of my neck, senses can be fooled so easily, but this runs deeper. This is in my bones. So before we were talking about, a veil, a bone veil, and now he's saying this is in my bones.
Counting down the days, dragging out the weight, blurred lines evade the light, a wolf in sheep's clothing, a martyr's disguise. I could have sworn you lay in the ground in my sight, yet so far out of reach. Take this misery, drown in my memories, so they can never be found. Follow the river down to where the waves break. I just
Drown
watched.
in with my memories.
Say again.
Okay. Drown in with my memories. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you done with?
No, you said drown in my memories, but it says in with my memories, so I don't know what he means by that necessarily. I just am pointing it out because sometimes one word changes everything for you.
Drowning in the river with his memories. I think this is
Oh,
probably.
you think the river is the memories, and he's drowning in it?
I just watched the waters rise and take a life. Is how the lyrics end.
I just
As far
watched
as
the waters rise and take a life.
is how it looks. I think he's probably talking about his father.
Oh,
Maybe his father died.
okay.
And the reason I'm saying he's probably talking about his father, which it would explain the anger at the other person. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. And then simultaneously saying, "This is in my bones," because it would be in his bones if he is talking about his father. So that's why he says, "Senses can be fooled so easily, but this runs deeper. This is in my bones." So it looks like maybe it's some part of him he can't get away from.
Every whisper I hear, every breath down the back of my neck. What do you make of that part?
Well, I think he's being haunted, which goes along with the idea that his dad is dead, but he's hearing him everywhere, which makes a lot of sense. And then it would also make sense if it was his dad, where the river might be metaphorical of the concept of death itself, or it might be the river has a reflective quality, and so his dad is underneath the river, but at the same time it functions as a mirror because he's finding himself repeating some of the actions of his father.
Oh my gosh. I would have never
what it
got
might look
that
like.
at all from this song.
A martyr beneath a mirror. Right? So, well, what were you getting from it?
I mean, like I said, I went with the sound of it, but if I was to just take a stab at it, I would have counting down the days, dragging out the weight, blurred lines evade the light. Where's the skies? Well, I thought maybe because he talks about drown in with my memories.
Mm-hmm.
Take this misery, drown in with my memories, so they can never be found. I don't know. Maybe a silhouette in the light. I really don't know. And I'm confused by a face hidden beneath a bone veil. I know that you're saying that's, like the two-faced nature and stuff like that. But I just keep like picturing like somebody drowning in a river. And the bone veil is like what trapped them underneath. Like it wouldn't be bone though. I'm picturing like like a tree when it loses its bark and it looks like a skeleton. It's been in the water and it gets like white from being sun.
But a veil is sort of a.
I know, it goes over your face.
It's just a
bone
thin
veil.
covering. It's something that can easily be, switched out. That's what it sounds like to me. But I mean, it's art.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I truly don't know. I do know sonically it was incredible sounding. I feel like I haven't had an immersive song like that in a long time. Like it was.
Yeah, he did a good job with the heavy. It was also the progression was a little bit strange in a good way. It's not really something I've heard from this band before. So he got a little bit experimental. I think is Sylosis is it one of those one-man bands type situation?
Oh no, is it really?
Why would you say oh no?
I for some reason don't like.
You don't like the one-man bands?
I don't. They make me feel sad and lonely.
What's up, Jay? Yeah, like I don't know. This looks like a lot of real maturity for me with this song. He did a really, really good job, and he did a good job at making the song. I mean, and that's the point of art. You're not supposed to. I'm probably projecting my situations into the situation. Very, very possible.
The only other thing too that I thought about, like. Because he talks about the waters rise and take a life. And then, remember you have, like, the river Styx? That we talk about sometimes in these.
Yeah.
It made me think of that, too.
Yeah, and the River Jordan. I mean, Spurgeon talked about death as the River Jordan in a bunch of his sermons. And so, like, it's a concept of you're going from one place to another, and you're transitioning into death. Which is why he said, I could have sworn you lay in the ground in my sight, yet so far out of reach. That sounds like a funeral to me.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the person's, like, right there, and then they're gone, and he's got there's obviously, to me, some unfinished business, which, look, man, the world is not a Hallmark card. A lot of people die with unfinished business with their family members, man. So, believe me, I know. Okay, I'm going to give this one a 9. I'm going to give this one a 9.1. Sylosis is a 4-piece, so they're not by themselves. So there you are.
Okay, good.
So they're not by themselves. So there you go.
Okay, here's a crazy interpretation, too. It could be, like when it's at the end of somebody's life and you're the one that has to make the decision of whether you're going to, they call it pull the plug.
Yep.
A silhouette in the light, a face hidden beneath a bone veil. That could be like when the person looks gaunt.
They're gaunt. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The wind sounds like a distant voice. A wolf in sheep's clothing, a martyr beneath a mirror. Maybe it has to do with he feels like a wolf in sheep's clothing because he's being chosen to be the one to make that decision. Every breath down the back of my neck. Senses can be fooled so easily, but this runs deeper. This is in my bones. As in, it's like you said, his father. I don't know. Just an idea.
Yeah, no, that...
And then when it says counting down the days, dragging out the weight, like, you know...
That sounds like
when somebody is, like, having a slow, dragging out situation where you're just watching them become... like worse and worse, like there is a sense in which you're like
he feels guilty for
blurred lines evade the light. A wolf in sheep's clothing again.
Yeah,
so
then maybe that's his survivor's guilt for having to pull the plug on his dad.
Yeah,
which would make a lot of sense. I'd give that a +2 on that for sure.
This one is incredible. I'm actually giving this one a 10. I loved this song. I like the vocals.
Wow,
I like
I'm shocked.
The sound of it was so good to me.
I'm shocked.
You are?
Yeah, because you don't really give 10s to metal songs like that very often.
Yeah,
so.
but this one really, it was immersive for me. Like, I don't know what they were doing with the different instrumentation, but it was definitely like, there was something that was like really, really beautiful about it, while at the same time you had that. My favorite ones are always that like have like beauty and grunge, kind of like, not grunge as in grime, yeah, like that, like you're getting both sides of the coin in the same.
Speaking of which, another grunge week is upon us. We're in the continuing effort to try to deliver for our patrons. We're gonna have a grunge week and a bunch of weeks coming very, very, very soon for all patrons. So stay tuned for that commercial. It is on the way. Okay, guys.
So wait, what did you give it?
I give it a 9.1. I don't know where
9.1.
Franco... Where's Franco's... Mr. Franco, where is your skull? Okay.
Avenged Sevenfold is up next. The name of the song is... Actually, can you give me a time?
Tension. Let's go with 2350.
All right. Avenged Sevenfold, Tension is the name of the song, and let's just get right into it.
Okay. Avenged Sevenfold is like one of the premier bands that launched this channel. Shout out to Avenged Sevenfold.
So true.
Maybe we should have a throwback. Maybe we should have a throwback week too.
Yeah.
Where we like go with Tool, Avenged Sevenfold.
I think that's a good idea.
All the bands that started the channel. We didn't know what we were getting into. All right, here we go. Avenged Sevenfold.
Let's check it out. The name of the song is Tension.
What's up, Applejack? Everyone, take 2 seconds to like the stream. I agree. I'm trying to actually find.
Shout out to Applejack.
I'm trying to find this song that you say.
It should be
there. I can't
there.
find it.
It should be there.
All right, here we go. The river. James Blunt, Deftones. Here we go. Tension with the lyrics on the screen. Let's go. It's coming in hot.
I wake up every morning bright and early, roll out of bed, but I'm never quite alone. a moment in our life. Works all the days too long, and that's just where it begins. Tension has had us all this time. But every now and then I drive alone and know been wrong. Hot summer day, a gentle breeze that feels alright on the road, and I can't feel no pain on this train. Enjoy the sights, I feel alive. Relaxing here just feels alright. Far from home.
Destination is bitch.
I need a moment 'cause I spread myself too thin. We all need a moment in our lives. Works all the days too long, and that's just where it begins. Tension has had us all this time.
That was Tension by the band Avenged Sevenfold. What do you got?
Well, I mean, that's feels like very relatable for like a lot of people, you know? Like he says, I wake up every morning bright and early, roll out of bed, and I'm never quite alone. Tension is pulling me in all directions. All these problems use me as their own. Sometimes the pressure will just drive you crazy. At any time I could explode. I need some peace of mind. It's got me tired, don't want to lose it, but I'm turning down the road. I need a moment because I've spread myself too thin. We all need a moment in our lives. Works hard, the day's too long. And that's just where it begins. Tension has had us all this time. Then he says, I sit in traffic every single morning. Just as I arrive, I'm slaving to the grind, making the money so I can feed my family. But I can't raise them because I ain't get the time. That's so sad. I got no free days on my busy schedule. I turn the page and it's the same. Don't like my situation. You don't either. Don't want to look back scared. I'm working my life away. And then he talks about, spreading himself too thin and...
That's you wouldn't expect that from the big rock star. You would not expect that he would be saying that. Mm-hmm. Like, it was funny because I remember being up with being on stage with Korn, and I remember hanging, talking to like, and they would, after every song they'd come chill, hey, ba 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 ba. Mm-hmm. Head would eat his Skittles and shit, and then he'd be like, hey, you want some Skittles? And then he'd go back out. And I was like, Fieldy said, all right, gotta go pick. And Fieldy had his son like on the phone with him.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, gotta go pay the bills. And he went back out. And I thought to myself, like, that's funny, like pay the bills. And these guys are all rock stars. And it's funny because like you can always look up people's net worth, and people think that, this and that, and shit ain't really like that all the time. And so it was like, it was interesting too, because he hasn't toured with Korn in like 2 years, and one of the things he said was like they're a machine, and he said basically, I'm not gonna get like into it, but I mean this is what he put out publicly, like because the schedule was just so aggressive, like it falling into bad habits that you're trying to get rid of became more and more easy. But it's very interesting because I've got a family member, and one of the running conversations I have is I always say, look, no matter how much money you get, unless you can figure out a way to be content with less than what you make, then you're always going to be grinding. Like the grind that you have to do to maintain, if you're maxing out your lifestyle, the grind that you have to do to maintain that is gonna be almost non-different than the grind that the person in the below stratosphere or below social strata beneath you has to work. And so it's like, we think, oh, these dudes are rich, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah. And that means that you buy a rich person's house and a rich person's car. And then your kids go to a rich person's school. And so it's like, you're grinding. And it's really interesting because it's like, I'm sure his wife enjoys the big house. Right? But I'm also sure that she does not enjoy the lack of time with him. You know? So like
100%.
that's always been like the
Yeah, there's a book that Vinny and I are listening to, and one of the stories that he tells in the book was basically people come to see him once they're like at a breaking point and they're like, I don't know how to reset my life, so I need you to help me.
Yeah.
And so one of the guys that showed up, he sat on the couch, and basically his thing was he wanted to retire and he wanted to make sure that he had enough money to retire. And so his thought was, okay, I'll get $1 million and then that's going to be good. And so I mean, I don't know. Some people, I guess, can make it up to $1 million. So he makes it up to $1 million, but then he's like, this is not enough. This might not last me. And so he keeps extending it. And I don't even know. I don't know if it was like $5 million by the end of it.
$4 million.
$4 million is what he ended up getting to. Yeah. And so he's sitting in there and he's saying, he was asking like the therapist, like, is this enough? Like, or whatever. And the commentary was basically like, this guy worked like this to secure a future that he could not have because he ended up grinding so much for that money. He lost his family, lost his wife, and so it's like, okay, what were you working for?
His wife divorced him because he was just so overcommitted to the job or whatever.
He was just obsessed with it.
And she's like, we're well past the point where you can retire and we can be together. And yeah, and that's always been like a very difficult thing for dudes to balance out, is like the balance between, I mean, it was hard for me. Like, I got in trouble for working too much. You know what I'm saying?
100%, yeah.
I got in severe trouble for working too much. And I mean, I was up there, you know, doing 12s and shit like that. And you're expecting like, oh, you're a superhero for doing a 12. No,
I missed you. I wanted you with me.
Right, and so it's a real crazy balance for dudes to strike, because it's like,
yeah, and I can see how that'd be discouraging. You know, like you're thinking I'm gonna be like, hey, oh, that's so great that you're working so hard for us, and instead I'm like, what?
Yeah, but most of the dudes that I know that are in that situation, like, he internalized it. Like, he's saying that he doesn't have enough time with his family.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's saying, hey, they should just be happy that I did, all these. And I never said, like, hey, you should be happy I'm doing all this time. Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. I remember, like, feeling bad. I'd feel bad. Like, I would look at the clock, and I'm like, yo, I'm on hour 10 right now. Like, this is so bad.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is so bad. So, like, if you're a certain kind of person, and that's a really big thing right now, is the whole grind style, whatever they call it, like work, and it's like, I mean, look, if you work a lot and you work hard, you're gonna get a lot more money than other people. And like I just think it's a lot of communication as to like, okay, what do we want here? What are you trying to accomplish here? You know, at the time we were looking at, you know, houses, and so I was like, okay, I had a magic number that I needed to hit, and it was it was so early in our relationship that like we had just started YouTube, so there was a lot of
Which
lot
cost
of
a lot of
weirdness.
money to start.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, when we got serious with YouTube, before we figured out continuity cameras. Yeah, so like I understand that to a degree, but a lot of people like, oh, poor rock star or whatever, and I think there's some validity to that in the sense of like, dude, if you lived like one strata below what you are, I think you'd be fine. I just think that once people get used to a certain kind of lifestyle, it's just not gonna happen that way. she's not gonna downgrade the house, bro. It's just not gonna happen. But I thought it was interesting because he said his problems were using him. Did you hear that line?
Yeah, actually.
I thought it was in verse 1.
Did say something like that.
He said
Can't command F
tension.
on this, right?
Yeah, I'm never quite alone. And all these problems use me as their own. How did you interpret that one? That's either a low key dig at his girl for saying she's using him, which is causing all the problems and the tension that he has when he wakes up, or it's just a poetic way of saying that I think you can get to the point where you feel fed on by your problems.
Yeah,
and
I totally think that.
and
Yeah.
your stressors.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, that seemed to resonate with you. What were you saying about that?
Yeah, because you know there's certain, you know, like there's certain aspects of like who I am as a person that I don't like. Okay, so for instance, I'm a controlling person, but I don't feel like I'm in control of my control. I feel like it controls me. And so yeah, I feel like it's feeding off me, and I don't see what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, I still remember that night when we were in McDonald's and you looked at that guy and you said, if you don't stop this, we're gonna bury you. I couldn't even believe that, because he was an addict. I couldn't even believe that you'd said something that like explicit to anybody, because we always like try to take like the more subtle approach. And so I was like, oh, he just literally told this man he's gonna die.
Folks were dropping left and right at the time.
Yeah, no, it was the best thing that you could have said. I was just shocked at like how like blatant it was, like how blunt I guess it was. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure he probably felt like, you know, in his rawest moment too, that his problems were feeding off of him. Like, it didn't look like he had control of the drug situation either. It looked like the drugs were running him around ragged. And
which is a physical manifestation of his problems in reality. Like the medication aspect of the drug is some sort of physicalization of whatever it is that he's trying to medicate in the first place.
That's crazy.
I was watching this thing about like memories and whether or not memories have their own agency, meaning, do memories exist as their own separate ontologies, and are they able to, they are communicating our past self to our present self, and all the shit we're doing right now in the present is gearing up so that we can communicate to our future self, so that there can be some sort of continuity of the self in the first place. Because imagine you had no memory. Like, it's really interesting because I've been on a streak where I have all these dreams now and I can recount my dreams. Most of the times I used to say, like, I didn't dream. And to this moment, I don't know if I dream or not. You know, psychologists...
This morning was pretty crazy,
Psychologists say that you dream every night and you just don't remember them. And, like, so she'd be like, oh, did you dream last night? I'd be like, no. I always say no. I don't say I don't remember them. So it's like, it's very, very interesting. Like, do memories themselves have their... My point is, what is the difference between something not happening and you not remembering it happening? Like, in your conscious experience, if you don't remember it, doesn't matter how soon it happened in your actual timeline. If you don't remember it, it didn't happen. And so it's like, this guy wakes up and there's like a running theme of stressors in his life. And as soon as he wakes up, that's on him, which obviously, you know, is the way I've lived for a very... I can't remember a time when that wasn't the case. Even as a kid, like, there was always some sort of stressors because of the chaotic nature of my family. Like, no disrespect to my family, but there was always some crazy shit that I had to worry about. Where we're gonna be, what's gonna happen, who's gonna flip out on who, and like, you genuinely did not know what school am I gonna... You genuinely did not know the answer to that question. And then when we got into the inner city in the Bronx, New York, I had a whole other set of tensions that I had in my head. So like, I don't think there's ever been a time when I've been like, had a good night's sleep, woken up like free. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I could definitely relate to that in a bunch of different ways. For sure.
It's true. You never look peaceful in the morning.
Yeah. That's why I was always disappointed. I was always disappointed with sunrise. I'm like, here we go. Another set of things to deal with. It's a bottomless pit, dear listener. All right, what'd you give it?
This is such a stressful song. My God. 7.2.
Holy shit. I am not shitting you. I had a dream about a month ago about the Pope dying during Easter. I told my mom and co-workers, and they called me a witch yesterday.
That is pretty crazy.
La ilaha illallah. Yeah.
That is pretty crazy.
I too had a prophetic dream.
He did.
I had a dream about something happening in airports and shit, and then today there was a plane on fire in Orlando. Like, we're like 50 miles away from Orlando, so whatever. What a world. You are a wisho for real. What the fuck? That's pretty fucking specific, guy. I'm going to give this one a 8.9 for me. 8.9 for me.
7.2 for me.
Oh, wow.
It was a very stressful song. And then the review was even more stressful.
A very stressful review of which...
I need to escape this song named Tension.
Well, that means... Hey, that means you did your job, bro.
They did.
That means you did your job. If she wants to escape from the song called Tension...
Let me out!
Then she's there. Oh, here's Jet. My dreams aren't worth saving. Stop lying. You probably have really awesome witchcraft dreams as well.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Lord. All right, The Ghost Inside. Give me that timestamp.
Wait a second. What did
Franco give it?
9.7 for the big homie Franco. Franco, me and you gonna have to talk offline about that song, my boy. Me and Franco talk pretty frequently offline, so it's like, well, we're my brother had some stressful situations happening today, man. Damn. But usually he's pretty chipper. What's up, brother Vin? He's usually pretty chipper, but yeah, I definitely understand, like, current events making you very stressed out, for sure. Which is the real reason that I wanted to do the show. I was like, fuck, man, that guy. Anyway, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, go ahead. What's the next song?
All right, give me that timestamp.
Timestamp is 45:25.
All right, 45:25. Up next is a song by the band The Ghost Inside. The name of the song is Wash It Away.
Have we done reviews by that band?
I don't know.
Sounds familiar.
The Ghost Inside. I don't know.
Is that the band where one of the guys like lost an arm or something like that? I can't believe you had a dream like that, Amy. I couldn't believe it. All right, here we go, guys. Song numero tres.
I don't think we've done one.
The Ghost Inside is the name of the band. What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is Whoopsie. The name of the song is not Whoopsie.
The name of the song is Whoopsie. All right, guys, Whoopsie.
Is Wash It Away.
Wash it away, The Ghost Inside. Let's do this shit. That's not gonna work. Talk to the people. Oh.
It should be very easy to download in the thing.
Yeah.
The Ghost Inside. Wash It Away. It is, excuse me, one 6:16 a.m. here, and I was not aware of the details of Franco's stressful day. All I know is that I was chilling out for I was gonna watch a couple shows with my kids, and then Vincent messaged me. He was like, "We're gonna be doing a show tonight." I was like, "Okay." So I was still trying to double time and watch the show, but we ended up actually turning off it. We barely got to watch anything because every time we started one, ChatGPT seems to be like very inclined to give ghosty ones, like not this ghosty, like creepy things. There was something about something Hill. I don't know.
Silent Hill?
No, not Silent.
What?
No, that one I think is definitely. I would know that it was scary.
Hey, do me a favor and text me the link.
And well, he's okay.
Just text me the link to that song, por favor.
Okay. And like, I was already feeling like some sort of way about it. And
so it wasn't Silent Hill?
Look, no, it wasn't. It's like this. So I don't know what you want me to do here.
Oh, it's okay. It's an email, so I don't
Yeah.
need to be looking around Trello. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, like whatever it was, something definitely had the word hill in it. But anyway, so we're watching it, and it's like, you know, this family, they're flipping houses. That's where you buy a house, you fix it up, and you sell it. But like it was starting to get kind of creepy. I was like feeling like, I don't know about this. And then like the little kid was asleep, and then the kid woke up, and you could just see like the kid's eyes. I was like, pretty sure this is sleep paralysis going on. And then sure enough, some freaky situation was going on. I was like, let's just watch Schitt's Creek, which is just like
Wait, do they like that though?
like what? The Schitt's Creek or the other thing? The creepy one.
Yeah.
Well, one of our daughters was like, I'm fine with this creepiness. And the other one was half buried under a blanket. And so I was already not feeling
Z?
good about it. Z was good with it.
Z was good with the creepiness.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was good
All
with
right.
it.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, I don't know, maybe that's alarming to me also. And so I'm like, this is not, no, let's just turn this off, because it just felt like, I don't know, like I was inviting some bad demons around, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with this. Shut this off. So we put on Schitt's Creek, but then we only barely got to watch it before I was like running in here trying to make sure that, you know, that's why my hair looks like this. I didn't fix my hair or anything.
It looks like, wow, you look like a supermodel. You're good.
Thank you, Vin. Thank you. I gave a little curling iron right here.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, we watched one episode of Black Mirror, and that is always like it like messes with your head. And so we watched, that one was pretty terrible. And the thing is, I actually saw that episode before, but I couldn't remember anything about it. So, but it was interesting nonetheless. Are we ready?
Yes.
So, yeah. No, it wasn't Silent Hill, it was
Gali. Good to see you, Gali.
all right.
Gali from Indonesia.
All
Good
right,
to see you, buddy.
what's up? Okay, so
here we
we're gonna
go.
actually need a new timestamp.
Timestamp, let's just do 50 minutes even.
Okay, 50 minutes even. What we have here is The Ghost Inside. Interesting title.
Shout out to Kai, who is not watching this at work.
Interesting title for the shows I shot off tonight. Anyway, let's check it out. The Ghost Inside, Wash It Away.
All right, let's do it.
Trapped in the same routine, repeating over and over. I look ahead and I start to feel the dread of growing older and older. So what's it gonna take to finally make a change? I'm shaking like an earthquake. It's been building up and begun to urge like the pouring rain. We can wash it away when you've had enough and it starts to burn. We can talk too much, like the pouring rain, we can wash it away. When you've had enough and it starts to flood, we can break like a tidal wave and wash it away. We can break like a tidal wave and wash it away.
Woo! That was Ghost in the Machine.
Wash it away. No, not Ghost in the Machine. Ghost. The ghost inside.
The ghost
Wash it
inside,
away.
dear listener. Ghost inside.
Okay.
Wash it away. Okay, go ahead.
That
It
was a
looks
fun
like
one.
What was going on?
It was
between the
fun. It
songs?
was a fun
Build
song.
it up.
Yeah. And it was just fun to vibe with. Like, it was a good one. And first of all, my sister would love this song.
Really?
Yeah, she would.
Would she allow herself to love the song?
Yeah, I think so. You know, when
Wow.
you're having a bad day.
All right.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah. I think it's, you know, it's relatable also. What it made me think of was, it was making me think about, I think, because we've talked about this before, that a human being, now you're probably gonna say that I went too far in one direction. You could take it over after, but we're body, soul, and we're spirit. And so I think that obviously because our spirits live on after we die, like the body stays here, you know, it's going to get resurrected. It's going to be kind of like revamped, you know, some hybrid version or whatever. But then you have your soul, which is like, you know, your personality and all of that stuff. And that's kind of in the mix too. But I think that because our spirit is primary, because that's the part of us that engages with God, I think that when that part of us is not getting what it needs, everything starts feeling like even the exciting becomes mundane. And so it's interesting because it also can make the mundane more exciting when your spirit is engaged in something. But I think that it's on purpose. Like, I think we're supposed to get to that sort of like kind of like a break moment. Like, I loved when he said, for all these days, I've been my own barricade. I'm not afraid anymore, so watch me break at the shore. I thought that was really cool sounding because it's the waves when they break the shore, what happens, are crashing up against the shore, but at the same time, he's been the barricade for his own self, and he's just gonna break through. I just liked it. I thought it was fun. It was like, had a powerful vibe to it. We both lost our headphones in it. I mean, I think that deserves some points.
Yeah, I mean, I lay trapped awake. There it is again. It's a rock star.
Yeah.
It's upset about the same routine. Repeating it over and over, I look ahead and I start to feel the dread of growing older and older. Whoa.
That's an interesting line, though. I think that's something that you don't understand when you're, like, younger. Like, wait, have you felt that too?
You know, I probably should, but everybody keeps dying. So I'm like, man, fuck all this shit.
Yeah,
You know,
that's why I was like, I don't know if you
I'm like,
experience it.
I was you know, I was out on my run today, and I was like, man, if I feel so much better when I work out, and I consistently work out, and so like I feel better. But there was a big part of me that's like, what am I like? Why am I doing any of this shit, bro? And I was thinking about all my folks, but like, yeah, if it wasn't for that, then yeah, I wouldn't care very much for my body, which is probably the way God hardwired the shit, particularly for me. You know, like, I'm gonna make you so fucking miserable in this body that unless you really work to take care of it, you're not gonna, you know. So, yeah, I probably would if I didn't have those experiences, like. Or yeah, I probably would. probably would go through some midlife crisis or whatever.
Yeah, one of my aunts is the most fascinating person to me because she's one of the happiest people that I know, and she's gone through a lot of things. She lost 5 babies. Her father died when she was 24. Her mom's gone. Like, she's just her brother died. It's just been a lot of stuff like that she's gone through, but she's so like happy, and she her husband died. It's just the list goes on, but she's, she posts videos where she's like, hello everybody, good morning, the sun is shining, and she just it doesn't look like it's an act either. Like, it looks like she looks extremely genuine about it. She's just happy, yeah, and it was cute because I sent her a video because I was sitting outside yesterday. I sent her a video of my porch, and I was like, just look at this, because I understand what she means. She always used to brag about being in Florida. It wasn't like bragging like you think of bragging. It was just, she was just super proud of it. So anytime she introduced herself, it would be like, if her name was Sori, she'd be like, I'm Sori from Florida. Everything, every time she met everybody. And we always thought it was cute, but now that I'm here, I'm like, oh my gosh, Are you proud to be a Floridian? I love being in Florida. Any day that I feel kind of, down, I always know that the sun is out there, so I can go stand in the sun. And when I go out there, I face myself toward the sun and just close my eyes and just I feel like I'm soaking in the vitamin D into my skin. Anyway, so she's happy like that, and she said to me she said that's what she's gonna do. She wants to retire being an old folks home in Florida, so that way she can always be outside. And I was like, wow, that's so cute. That's what she wants. And I understand. I'm totally like that. I'm that would make me happy to know I was going to be able to be outside. And I think that she definitely has a relationship with God. She finds a lot of comfort in reading the Bible, and but just such a positive, happy person. And I'm sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, yo, if you're not careful, you're gonna really look like one of those miserable old people, the mouth is turned down. I'm I don't want to be like that. I would like to be like my aunt, who's very happy. But yeah, so
that's the whole, if you do your face like that, it's gonna stay that way forever.
Well, I mean, you see, there are 2 types of, there's not
old people.
A whole lot of variation between what old women look like. It's you know what I mean? Raise up. One last story.
That is hilarious, bro. There's only 2 ways that old people look.
Yeah, because they all look old. You lose your
Holy
feature.
shit.
You don't have your hair turns all white. Your face gets wrinkly. Everything kind of starts looking all the same. And so it really comes down to what type of person are you? Are you a miserable person? Okay, well then you're that miserable old person that's casted in shows.
Somebody who's not a miserable old person is Joe Biden. Hey folks, rest in peace to the Pope. He was a great American.
Yeah, Joe Biden was really chipper when he came out to announce that Kamala lost.
Yeah, but
I haven't seen anybody skip like that since.
Yeah, the Pope was a great American. Holy shit, that was a good one, Joe Biden. Whoever you are.
Anyway, so I pulled my hair back. Now I'm just gonna rant a little bit. So I was in the kitchen, and when I'm in business mode, I pull my hair back. So I pull my hair back, and I've got this white hair right here, right? So the kids
can see. It's got the Tulsi Gabbard thing going on.
The kids can see my white.
Have you seen Tulsi Gabbard?
I have, yeah. Yeah, but I think I thought that was hair dye. Anyway, so.
You think she dyed it gray?
No, I think that it's gray there, and that she dyes the rest of it dark, so it's just the one.
Oh.
Anyway, so one of my kids, he's 5. He's like, oh, mom's in work mode, because he knows when I pull my hair back, I'm in work mode. And then the younger one was like, why do you have to have the white hair showing? And I said, why? He's like, I don't like it. And the other one was like, yeah, I don't really like that white hair. And I said, well, why not? And they said, well, it makes you look like a grandma. And I was like, well, what's wrong with looking like a grandma? And then my 4-year-old is like, because we don't like soggy faces. I was like, Why are our children the way that they are?
We encourage our children
Free
to be
speech.
It's free speech in this house, dear listener.
But you know what? I thought that was a pretty accurate way of describing it. Soggy faces.
Soggy faces.
So, yeah, this.
Yeah, because definitely that's a soggy face right there.
No,
Dylan.
I'm saying like I think what he's saying is white hair makes us think of grandmas, which makes us think of soggy faces because people are old, and so they don't want to think about me.
Vitamin E and collagen, dear listener. Vitamin E and collagen.
And be black.
Well, and be black. Have you been taking the collagen too?
No, I haven't.
In the coffee?
I took it twice.
Or just the creatine?
I took it twice. I will take it. It's just.
But you take the vitamin E?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been taking some vitamin E. Yes. Have you noticed?
I have.
I look like I'm going backwards.
I have.
Anyway, so this.
Vin, do you allow your children to curse? Is that included in the free speech rule?
You should watch the shorts. One of them was like the 4-year-old, the same one that doesn't like soggy faces. He was like, there's one about like a truck that like flips over and it like explodes all over the road. He was like, what the F? I was like, is that like your way of like saying a curse without saying a curse? And he's like, I think he said, I don't know, or something like that.
Well,
some lie.
The littles are
They're not supposed to curse, no.
Well,
They
I was
actually
gonna
really
say they're
don't.
not fans of free speech.
That's
So
true.
like,
well,
if I'm on Fortnite and somebody's cheating, I go, "What motherfucker?"
they
Don't say curses, and I have to apologize. So, the littles are not fans of free speech at all.
Yeah, but they
They're-
like it when he curses, so that way they can tell him what to do. To be honest with you, that's what's happening.
They're all fascists.
Anytime he curses, I see their face light up.
And
Yes,
the
we get
little
to tell
kids,
him.
the little kids, they're fascists.
And then when he apologizes, the look of satisfaction. As you were.
Yep, and they walk by and go back to their
Yep.
horrible little gremlin
Picking their
games.
nose or whatever it is
Whatever
they're
the
doing.
fuck they're doing. This to me is like part of, I think, what makes the channel for everybody. Mm-hmm. Like everything is building up. It's building up in the day, and it's like, boom, we got a live stream. We're all going to be able to hang out. Somebody's going to be able to, somebody's going to talk shit. Somebody's going to be funny. Ben's going to say timestamp. Like, it's one of those things where it's like if you're like in our circle and you experience it like on this little weird side of the internet, I think it's a good thing for everybody. And then, if we're not doing shows at like 1:35 in the morning, we'll have Dwayne and somehow a discussion, no matter what the song is, a discussion about his naked
Beatles.
Well, the Beatles, but his naked body will also
Oh yeah, that's true. That always kind of.
be part of the discussion as well.
Pretty sure he said something about his bunions on his feet as well
When?
in one of the streams.
He has bunions?
I'm pretty sure he made some joke about that.
Shout out to Dwayne. Gang, gang,
Yeah.
gang. Like, yeah, if it's building up like pouring rain, we can all wash it away, which is really cool. Because he says we. Which I'm assuming is the band. I think the probably most immediate interpretation would be, when you're going to a rock show and you could just completely and totally let loose.
Yeah.
And then you just, whatever you were dealing with, you're not dealing with it no more for that for the few moments in the rock show. Like I'm gonna be doing a review of Sinners because I just watched it for the second time tonight. And
It's going to be a very good review. You're not going to want to miss it.
it's very interesting the central role that music plays in the movie relative to the experience of people who are undergoing oppression or whatever you want to call it. And the centrality of music and the almost life and death ramifications of the music. And that's a lot of our culture as the metal community. That's really a big part of it.
Yep.
That's a real big part of everybody's identity and all the rest of it. Like how we all relate to the music and how we use the music. A lot of people don't phrase it that way, but like we are using the music. And like in our culture, it's weird because like anytime you hear the term cope or triggered, it's like something to make fun of somebody else. Oh, that's a cope. oh, you got triggered. It's like, yeah, like people get triggered. Like it's fucking, it's hard out there. And so like the music is absolutely a cope. You know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely a cope. And then the community that gets built around that kind of music is really cool because you'll go to a rock show, thousands of people will be there. I remember, like, we were never big Alice in Chains fans, but when we were at the Korn show, thankfully, we didn't realize that we could have been back there in the catering area with the band for literally the entire day until they showed up as the headliner. Like, and if I
delicious food, and you know how much I love that.
Yeah, they had. What did they have? What
they had? It was like this whole. He said earlier there was chefs back there that were cooking stuff.
Yeah,
we missed the entire thing. It was a vegan cupcake left.
Yeah, there was a vegan cupcake, all types of.
Although that vegan cupcake,
all forms of
really
abominations.
Good. No, it looked really good.
Yeah, it looked good, but I'm sure it tasted disgusting. But like, I would. But anyway, the point of what I'm saying is I'm glad that we did not know that because we were there with Alice in Chains. We were not with Alice in Chains. We were in the crowd with Alice in Chains. And I forgot what the song was, but like it was one of those things where you put up your phone, the flashlight on your phone, and it was sold out, so there's 10,000 people there. And you just look around like 360 and you're just amazing. Surrounded by all these lights.
It was amazing.
And like you're looking at people and everybody's singing the song and whatever, and we were singing the song and like you don't know these people, they don't know you.
It was amazing.
But
it was amazing. It was one of my favorite moments at a show.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm a Korn kid. I saw Korn at Woodstock and I was immediately converted not only to Korn but to metal. And like that memory of Alice in Chains is like really, it's really up there. Like every time we talk about that day, that Alice in Chains moment, we talk about that a lot. And so it's like, it's crazy. Like only rock music can do that. So anyway.
Maybe that's part of the way that we can know whether or not something is a good or a bad cope. If it ultimately leads you to isolation, then but if it leads you toward community, but I said ultimately because I do think that there are certain copes that bring people around you temporarily, but ultimately lead you to isolation.
Yeah, it's not healthy community. Like the drug cultures. There's a lot of drug culture that's not very good community. Yeah. Not all the time. I'm not judging you drug culture people. I'm just saying like heroin, fentanyl, that type of drug culture. And that was definitely a subculture where we lived and people ended up dead. So, not a very good community. We don't judge. But we would like you not to die.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if you wouldn't die.
When you said we don't judge, I maybe had a weird look on my face because it's that whole like game that people keep playing. We don't judge that.
We listen,
thing.
But we don't judge.
Yeah. And like, I'm gonna be putting one up within the next couple of days of a mom with the kids, and I am sure those kids
were judging.
Were in trouble when that mother turned that camera off. For sure.
Yeah. We listen, but we don't judge.
The things that they admitted to, because they really thought the game was the game.
Yeah, it's not a game. Just like with the kids.
She still has the information, kids.
Unless I am your parent. I think it was Wood, actually, Amy. I think it was Wood. Unless I am the parent, the game really isn't the game. Like, you're gonna pay. As soon as that fucking camera goes off, you're gonna fucking. I promise you, dear child, please listen to your brother. Yeah, unless I'm the parent, it's over with.
Well,
okay.
I mean, I will say, some of my kids have come and told me different things from the past. You know, I understand, Vin, that, you know, unless you're the parent business, but they do bring a lot of their little past confessions to me a lot. I do find out a lot of the juice faster than you do.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, it's true. They're very, very selective about the shit that they say to me and her. It's very interesting.
Anyway.
They figured it out. They figured something out. They figured something out, dear listener. All right, what do you give the song? You haven't rated the song yet.
9.8. I liked it a lot.
I don't want to say this song of the night for me because there's other songs to listen. We got the Deftones, we got the Warning. You know,
what does that have to do with how this song rates?
The song was a badass song.
It's not badass because it's played against other songs. I mean, this is its own thing. What do you give it?
Everyone confess a crime.
I know. I was literally waiting for you to rate it so I could say that. Babe, don't.
I'm going to give this one a 9.6.
I didn't know if you were going to just start following that and, 9.6?
Yeah.
9.6 it is. 8.8 says JB. And where is Franco's score?
We have no idea. Tell what crimes have you committed? Like actual crimes, not like you sang too loud in church or something like that. Like an actual crime.
You talking about me?
Yeah. It says everybody talk about a crime they've committed. Go.
I'm not doing that.
Oh.
I have a really nice vacuum cleaner, I can tell you that.
I have a whole laundry list of crimes, actually. Now that I think. Wow, I really,
We listen, but we don't judge.
I was in another country, and I got into a building I was not supposed to by telling a white lie. I'm going to admit it.
Why's it gotta be white?
Nothing you can do about it now because you don't even know I did it. So there you go. That was illegal. I violated international law. So, I'm gonna have to put on a mask one day. But one day I'll do story time about violating international law. Maybe I'll do one of these things. Like, nobody will know who I really am.
Yep.
You'll have no proof.
One of my friends is doing story time on this other random channel. So go on over there and hear his stories.
That's right.
All right. Yeah.
Jet says I constantly jaywalk. I've
I used to do that too till now I moved to Florida and I realized you could. I've almost gotten hit.
Motherfuckers will kill you
By
over in this
multiple
state. Then they'll jump out and shoot you. Bow, bow,
Yeah.
bow, bow, bow. To stand your ground face.
So I decided, you know what, I should not do this anymore because my family doesn't want to see me flattened out on this.
Yeah, it's not like Maine. Maine, they'll slow down. They'll give you the finger and shit, but they'll slow down. They're like, come on, let's go.
Yes, you have to be careful because you'll have your headphones in and you're just like,
Tina in this bitch.
Our kids have like
Gang,
some really
gang,
fun
gang.
toys. As in, like, one of them has a bike that is like motor propelled. So when you get going, like, it really brings you up to 21 miles an hour with like zero effort.
The electric bike.
Yeah, and then we got another kid that's got a scooter, and that thing goes really fast. So they've got a lot of toys, and so sometimes, I get out there feeling the wind blowing in my hair, and I'm like, the music is great, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, there's a truck. Oh,
to the dawn again.
Yep.
Giuliani going crazy.
It's always love songs that I'm listening to.
Yeah. Oh my God. Always the modern. Oh God.
He hates them.
We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do an entire week of that, aren't we?
No, because I was like listening to my songs, and I'm like, this is not. People are not gonna want to hear this. People
oh
are
my
gonna
God.
leave Patreon.
If we do a sorry week on Patreon, they're gonna.
No, not if I put the actual music I listen to. People are gonna be bored with it.
No, they're gonna. I guarantee you. I put a thingy up there. Put a thingy up there and say, okay, for the first themed week, would you rather hear Grunge Week or Sorry Week? Put that up there and see what people say. You'll see.
And when he says sorry, he doesn't mean metal music or anything that I listen to. It's literally what I listen to.
Yeah, we know. We know. All right. I gave this a 9.6. You gave it a what? 9.9?
9.8.
9.8. Okay. All right. All right, guys. We got another song coming down the pike for you beautiful people. It's from the band. I don't know what the name of the band is. Sorry's too busy doing her thingamajig. So
Yeah, you
I'm
can
going to
talk
do
to
a
the people.
Ask me anything, dear listener. Oh my God, insane criminals. Yeah, man. Y'all out here jaywalking, doing all types of illegal shit. What's wrong with you?
It was grunge?
Grunge Week or Sorry Week? Very simple. Oh, yeah. when
I spelled grunge with a D. What is going on?
When Giuliani wanted to arrest
There you go.
people. All right, there you
Okay.
go.
All right. Let's
Did we get the
see.
DJ score?
What do we think about the next pope? I didn't even know there was a next one.
What do you mean?
I didn't know there was already another pope. Baby, you
Well,
know I
no,
don't follow
the
all of that
cardinal,
stuff.
the College of Cardinals gets together, magisterium gets together, and then if there's black smoke, that means they're still deliberating. If there's white
Oh.
smoke, that means there's a pope. I have no
Hunter, I
idea.
misread that. You said, who do you think will be the next pope? I don't know. Maybe Vin. Who knows? All right.
9.9.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
9.9. If I was the next
I'd be
pope.
slapping all the nuns. Get away from. Okay. That's so disrespectful. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize.
On the day of the death, good night. Allahu Akbar.
I got a little carried away.
Allahu
Okay.
Akbar.
All right. Apologies. Okay. Up next. Oh shoot! It's
Are you laughing at
unfortunate.
Joe Biden?
No, I'm laughing because if it would have been song 5 instead of song 4, the name of the song was Apologize. But we're not there yet. Deftones is the name of the band.
Look at that. Hunter Lewis says that you guys don't know this. This is Vin and Sori trivia. We should probably do a Vin and Sori trivia during game night. Deftones are the reason that this entire channel started.
Deftones?
Yeah.
Is that what you were
Deftones.
listening to?
Yeah.
I thought it was a Slipknot.
No,
That's
I was.
what we did.
No.
Slipknot.
That was the first video we did. But the entire reason the entire channel started was because we were watching Lost in Vegas. I was watching Lost in Vegas do a review of Digital Bath.
Oh.
And I said, "Come over here," because I couldn't believe it. Because
And
I
I
loved
couldn't
that.
believe it.
I loved that song, but I couldn't believe anybody wanted to review it.
I couldn't believe it. Okay, I'm about to end the poll. 58%.
No, you can't end the poll. What are you talking about? We're gonna listen to an entire song, and then you can actually keep that poll up for the entire night. There's no. This is not a song-specific poll. Pin the thing and keep it up the entire night.
Pony, I guarantee you it's not going to be any Nightwish. It's not going to be anything that you guys like. Literally, you guys are going to feel like you wasted your week if I do it. I promise you. You guys are not going to like my music. Literally, I was listening to one of my songs pretending I was you guys, and I was like, this is a disaster. I literally did it.
All right. Timestamp is 1:20. 45. 1:20:45.
All right. 1:20. Hold on. 20:45. Okay. So what we have is Deftones. The name of the song is Cherry Waves. Okay.
Cherry Waves. Okay.
Cherry Waves.
Is there any
Intro?
thingy?
Nope.
No intro. Damn, Mike. Cherry Waves.
Nothing wrong with that. You said the man had a hard day. He was very nice to me. I didn't know he had a hard day.
Of course, everybody's nice to you.
That's
Damn it.
not true.
With me, it's like.
That's just because people see that you psychologically abuse me. So.
Oh yeah, here it is. Here
Remember
it is.
when they kept saying that?
Oh yeah. Sori's being abused.
Poor Vin.
White woman in distress. Here we go.
Poor Vin.
Cherry
Okay, let's
Waves
go.
with the lyrics. Deftones. Let's do it now.
A sea of waves, we hug the same plague.
I really
Wow.
like the way that song sounded.
Me too.
the you
Yeah.
should sink down. What did you? This is actually one of the more coherent songs that I've seen Chino write. Chino is like notorious for writing very difficult lyrics to decipher, and most of the time it's like, okay, he made that up as soon as he went into the studio.
This one kind of reminded me of, what was it, Smashing Pumpkins? One of those songs that we listened to like a bunch in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
no-
the Tonight joint.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so. Just as in like, was it that one? Yeah, kind of like a little odd, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Chino's one of those like voices that's like, yeah, that's not a conventional. He doesn't have a conventional vocal style for sure. Let me
Yeah,
get these.
this
let me get
kind of
these
sounded like
lyrics
a
up
toxic relationship, right?
here. Yeah, it sounded like a pretty toxic relationship to me. But I mean, I all right, go ahead. What did you think?
He says, a sea of waves, we hung the same plank, saw your end, just as I rehearsed over in my brain, saw your end. That to me, I thought that he was saying like both of them were in the same destructive place. When he's, but he's, the sea of waves, the plank, walk the plank sort of pirate thing that's, you're gonna kill the person. And he's saying that they're hanging onto the same plank.
Well, I thought that was more like what do you call that?
Like Titanic where they're
type
floating
thing.
on the thing.
Yeah, like the ship is destroyed and they're stranded at sea and they're floating on the same plank.
Oh, that's interesting.
Not like a walk the plank.
That's interesting because I took it as we don't have to be on this plank. We could both go back onto the ship, but
Saying we're hugging a
same
sea of
plank.
waves, we hug the same plank.
yeah, no, I totally see that. That's just not how I visualized it when I heard the song. But
Larry
yeah, I see
Legend! Larry Legend in this bitch. What's up, buddy?
that. What's up, Larry? The waves suck you in and you drown. If like you should sink down beneath, I'll swim down. Would you? You hung the anchors over my neck. Saw your end. See, and that part was it too. Like if he or she hangs the anchors over the other one's neck, that would keep them tied to the plank.
Really?
Well, it
That would
seemed
cause
like,
them to sink, right?
well, again, you hang the anchors. So again, I'm picturing the plank that they walk out on, and so in this
Why
relationship,
do you keep saying that? He's saying they're hugging the plank.
right, but it's interpretation, right? So the interpretation for me was that this is a ship that they're on. The waves are there. It's crazy. They could go into the water or they could stay on the ship. But one of the people in the relationship continually keeps making them go out onto the same plank. He says, we're hugging the same plank. And then he saw the person's end. So it seemed, I thought that one person was bent on destruction, on a destructive lifestyle or a destructive path, and that the other one was forced to live alongside of that person because they wanted to be together. And then when it says you hung the anchors over my neck, then it was like, okay, it was bad enough that we were out on this plank, but now you're taking the anchors, and if you hang the anchors over somebody's neck and they're on the plank, it's going to choke them. And then it says, I liked it at first, but the more you laugh, the crazier I became. So at first it was like, oh, maybe this is, whatever. But then like as it progressed, it was like, wait a minute, this is actually not good. The waves suck you in and then you drown. If like you should sink down beneath, I'll swim down with you. Is that what you would want? Is that what you want? And so then that to me was, okay, now they're in the water, and the one that keeps trying to like stay and put themselves in a really bad situation to be with the toxic one, they're asking the question like, okay, if you get sucked down, because that was inevitably where that person wanted to be, do you want me to go down after you? Like, is that really what you want? You want me to drown in all of this with you? And so you escape below. Again, I thought it was the toxic one wants to be drowning in that, wants to be like in that like place, but the other one that doesn't want to be in that is kind of like, see what I'm saying? That's what I got out of it. What'd you get? But you had a Titanic view.
Yeah, I think that's the only view you can have. I think the walk the plank pirate thing is crazy.
Well, that's nice. That's a nice way of wording it.
I just think it's a crazy way to... What a fucking pirate shit? What are we doing here?
Yeah, not a
A
pirate
sea
ship,
of
but
waves, we
they-
hug the plank. Okay, they're in a bunch of waves and they're hugging a plank because they're about to sink to the. I saw your end just as I'd rehearsed over in my brain. I don't know. This to me is like a running dialogue between two people actually, and
okay.
so it says like you go down here,
Yeah.
you hang the anchors over my neck. So it's like we're barely hanging on for dear life, and then here comes this person hanging the anchors over your neck. And then the next thing she says is to him is, "Oh, the waves suck you in and then you drown." But it's like just as I'd rehearsed it over in my brain. So this person had rehearsed killing this person.
Well, that is not what I got. Wow. that's
And then
so
it
crazy.
says, "You hang the anchors over my neck." And he says, "I liked it at first, but then the more you laughed, the crazier I came." And then it says, "The waves suck you in and then you drown. If, like, you should sink down beneath, I'll swim down with you. Is that what you'd like? Is that what you want?" It's like, whoa, dude, like, you were the one that put the anchors around the dude's neck, madam. And now he's sinking down. And instead of saying, I'm the one that did this to you, she's saying that the waves are sucking him down. I guess, but I think the waves had some assistance, lady, when you put the anchor around the guy's fucking neck. And then it's like, it's kind of like a mocking love song, like type of thing. It's like, you should stay down beneath, I'll swim down. So, yeah, I don't know. It just looks like, yeah, I agree. It's a very toxic relationship, and I think toxicity is probably... Holy shit, Larry.
What?
I lost 7 family members this week. How the fuck is that possible?
What?
Yeah, Larry, I bet. Holy shit, man. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. It's, and then it says, "You escape below." So I don't know if, like, obviously, I mean, it could
that's
be...
why I thought it was the other thing.
It could be a literal death. Or it could be the death of a relationship where, like, he's escaping her. Like, because the end of the song is "You escape below." But the irony is probably death is the only escape that he has from this woman.
Woo!
Where I was in a relationship like that, where I was like, again, looking forward to my death. Like, it got pretty bad. It got pretty bad because I'm not a quitter. So I was never gonna break up with Shorty. I was never gonna do that. So, but it gets kind of complicated when you have kids. Like, you could do the crazy, ooh, we're crazy, look how romantic crazy is. You could do all that shit when you don't have children. Actually, I don't want to say that. What I'm saying is, I remember a time when it sounded fun. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
we're crazy, love the way you lie, the house is on fire, fighting, all type of shit. Like, I thought, because I had never seen a functional relationship in my life. So I thought that there was something like, I thought that that's how it went. And I had this other girl, and, like, I didn't want to drag her into that world because I didn't think I was going to be able to, like, sustain any kind of... So I just completely sabotaged that relationship. But, like, it was like this, man. Like, there's a lot of anchors around your neck in that situation. And it was very fucking difficult. But Deftones are really good at, like, writing these love songs that are really the person killing the other person. Like Digital Bath. That's like another... That's my favorite Deftones song in all time. And that's the song that started this channel, was Digital Bath. But it was really the guy killing the girl in the bathtub or whatever. So... they're really good at, like, romanticizing those murders that happen between couples. And I don't know, like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I think that, but I think there's like, it was crazy too, because I remember when White Pony came out, and White Pony was like the ultimate girlfriend record, and they were playing the songs, and it was love songs, and Chino was there with his girl, and they were in their own little place. And it was actually pretty cool to see, because they had to sit down and sign autographs and shit, and we were right there in Manhattan, and he was like 10 feet away, and he was hugging Shorty, and they were like dancing in the middle of Virgin Record Store, and they were like in their own little space. I don't know if they're still together. I hope they're still together. But then I read the lyrics, and I'm like, yo, this dude is killing her after every third song. It's got, go get your knife, like. So but maybe that's just their lexicon, There's some couples that have like their own little lexicon, and like to us it sounds crazy, but to them it kind of works. So there you go. Later, Tina.
I didn't know where that story was gonna go, so I thought like he was gonna kill her in real life. You're like
in the middle of Virgin Records Store.
No, after like you were like, yeah, they were like that in Virgin Records, and then 10 years later, man.
And then he went on tour.
I just didn't know where it was gonna go. Okay, glad that they're. Oh, you don't know if they're still together, but
I don't know if they're still together.
She didn't hear any big tragic story like that, so that's good.
Nah. She's still among the living.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So that was interesting how we both viewed that song.
They aren't. I was in San Diego. Been a long time. Damn. That's something you could GPT to see Chino and his girl still together. I really like that song. What's that song called? Where is that on the thing?
The name of
Cherry
the song
Waves is the name of that song.
Yeah.
That's gonna go onto my phone. You should sink down. Everyone should be mindful of gas leaks. Check constantly, bro.
Oh my god,
bro. I swear to God, I was listening to my book on near-death experiences today, and one of them was a gas leak situation. So crazy. Okay, Evil Pear in this bitch. By the way, guys, Evil Pear has a movie series or TV is a show series. What's it called?
What are you talking about?
Isn't Evil Pear the guy? With
Evil Pear. Yeah. I don't have that set up yet.
What's the name of that show series called? True Detective.
Yeah,
True
I was gonna
Detective
say.
is the name of it. Okay.
Yes, apparently they're still together. As of April 2025, they're still married.
Well, they began dating in 2010, so that can't be right.
As of April 2025, Chino, what?
They began dating in 2010.
They tied the knot in 2012, and they have a daughter together.
White Pony came out before 9/11 happened. White Pony came out, I think, in 2000, 2001.
Okay,
so that's definitely not the same girl. Unfortunately, that's not the same girl.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying ChatGPT was wrong, but what you're saying is they. Oh.
No, it's right. It's just not
I didn't
the
want
girl.
to believe that could be what's going on.
It's just not the girl from Virgin
right.
Record Stores.
That's
but
so bad that I had more.
But everyone is happy, so it is what it is.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Those things happen, I guess. It's just many such cases.
All right. Up next is the warning. Wait.
Is it? Is it the warning next?
Did you rate this one?
Yeah, it's at 9.8.
Yeah, me too.
Anytime
Anytime
a song goes to my phone,
9.8 as well.
it's a 9.8.
The warning.
The warning.
The name of the song is Apologize. I'm going to actually need the timestamp.
Timestamp is 1:40:50.
1:40:50. All right, let's check it out. The warning, Apologize. DJ Mike Franco.
In this house.
Mm-hmm.
What you know about that? All right, guys, here we go. Next song is not System of a Down. It is The Warning
with the song Apologize.
There it is. Let's go.
Apologize.
We're so in sync.
I know. It's because that's how it goes.
Okay, Apologize was probably the first song that was written on this album, technically.
Technically.
I wrote the pre-chorus to the song in like 2016, so I was like
A
14.
tiny pal, a tiny pal.
I had that little snippet of the song, and I was just not able to use it at any time, like in the past. I want to do the math. 8 years.
That's insane.
Oh, that's insane.
I don't like
That's
that
insane.
number. I don't
Yeah.
like that number. But then I started writing. This song used to be called Hunger. So, I
still
started
call it
writing
that. Yeah, me
Hunger, and I had that pre-chorus, and then we started writing Apologize. Like the three of us together, and then Anton was involved. And it's one of those few songs that really started out with like me on the piano, and then it evolved into what it was. I feel like
Very
such few
OG,
songs.
The Warning.
OG the Warning, kind of.
I
Songwriting
honestly
process.
loved how this song turned out. I feel like it takes you on a journey. Like the whole song is just like the drop is just so unexpected, and I really love how like the song turned
used
out
to
from
be
like
so
what it
different,
was. It used to
yeah.
be so different. I love how it turned out because I would have never imagined it turning out that way, and I honestly
Used to
just
be kind
love
of
the song.
bad.
Yeah.
Even the ending, we totally winged that out.
Yeah, like
in
in
the
the studio, yeah.
like,
At the very
that
last,
was-
like also the chorus. We didn't have a chorus.
You're right.
I
We
remember
were like
we all
it was
gave up on
verse.
You
this
just
song.
made up
It
the
was
entire
yeah,
song
we
in the
all-
studio,
Like in
damn
the
it.
studio, like even Anton, we were just like so stressed because we weren't finding,
chorus.
we
The
couldn't find
riff
like,
sucked. The riff was
yeah.
mine. I'm a drummer, so it was not the best.
And
riff
we
in the
all
world.
kind of gave up on it. Like we were just like so stressed, we couldn't find the right riff, the right like, sound, and it just at the end like
And now I love it.
it all just came together.
It is.
I love it.
We released like the little snippets, and it's the song that fans are most looking forward to.
Yeah.
And
They were
I love
captivated
that.
by it, yeah.
And I get to scream on the song. I get to passionately scream. Apologize.
I get to hear
Over
you
and over
live
and
in my
Oh.
ears.
Oh yeah, that's better.
And I have to say this because, I mean, I had to learn how to play the whole song with a slide on my finger because that riff in the chorus has the slide. I've never played with a slide
Really?
before.
I did not know that.
So I had to learn how to do it in the studio and then for the live.
We have to
versions.
practice it for the live
Like,
versions because it's bound to
I
be
had
fun.
never done that before, and it's like challenge accepted.
You ate.
for sure.
I didn't know you hadn't done that before.
Never.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I only ache in the wake of a broken never. There is no thrill in the crime. I have lost the pleasure. Skin on skin means nothing if there is no blood to bleed. Simply quenching hunger doesn't kill the need. Hands always move on their own. Self-inflicted torture, feel, imitate, stimulate, futuristic horrors, basking in the glory of our manufactured vice. Fade away to nothing, 'cause now nothing will suffice. I don't mean to make you nervous. I've been sad but not depressed. Wasting breath, waiting for nothing, 'cause you won't apologize.
Doobie!
Apologize!
Holy shit! You better say sorry,
You're
nigga.
messaging me, own up to the blame. At the end of the day, so easy to say it's not your fault now. It's not your fault now. Apologize. Nails on my skin, just to check if my heart's still beating. Head in my hands, only I hear the quiet screaming. Shaking turns to crying in my short-lived fake delight. The bitterness of trying haunts me through the night. And I don't mean to make you nervous. I've been sad but not depressed. Lately I've been feeling something when I'm high up
mess that you made, own up to the blame. At the end of the day, it's so easy to say it's not your fault now. It's not your fault now.
Damn.
Apologize.
That
For
was
the warning.
the warning.
Warning. You've been warned. You should have apologized.
I think you're single now, nigga.
Yeah.
Those are not the individuals you want to have a fight with, man.
Nope.
Damn.
Nope.
It's like completely unfair.
I know.
Like, we're automatically going to assume you're wrong, boy. All right.
I only ache in the wake of a broken never. There's no thrill in a crime. What did you think about that?
What, broken never?
No, there's no thrill in a crime. I've lost the pleasure. What crime?
I don't know. Maybe they were like a secret kind of couple.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't really hear about the warning going out with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe it was like a sneaky little thing that they were doing, and you know how those things go with dudes, man. So it was like a sneaky little thing, and apparently he wasn't that serious about the situation. I mean, I'm just completely speculating here, but maybe he wasn't really that serious about the situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do they call them? Situationships? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it sounds like a relationship song. But go ahead. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounded like somebody needed to apologize, so I assume, and it sounded like they weren't taking responsibility because wasting breath waiting for nothing because you won't apologize. Hold on. I'm inside of where's the part? Well, I guess we'll hit it when we hit it. So she says, hands always move on their own. Self-inflicted torture. Feel, imitate, stimulate futuristic horrors. Basking in the glory of our manufactured vice. Fade away nothing. Because, yeah, okay. So that does kind of sound like that there was some sort of relationship thing going on. And when she says hands always move on their own, is she saying like we were like they were drawn to each other, but it was self-inflicted torture because it wasn't going to work?
Well, the next set of lines is feel, imitate, stimulate.
Yep.
So it looks like
Do you have the water over there?
he's like, I don't know what happened. My hands were all over Shorty. There's nothing I can do about it.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it looked like to me. You know, like, you know, like, it's my hands just started moving.
Oh. No accountability, okay.
Yeah, like, it's not really, you know, fade away to nothing because now nothing will suffice. But I don't mean to make you nervous. I've been sad but not depressed, wasting breath waiting for nothing because you won't apologize. That's a good line. Like, I'm sad but I'm not depressed.
Yeah.
That's a very like, hey, the fracture of this relationship is definitely a problem for me, but I'm not gonna like you breaking my heart is not gonna be the end of the world for me. Mm-hmm. I think it's very, very important, especially for women to be able to say, because a lot of these songs are like, oh, I don't need you, I don't care, blah blah blah, but it's like, but that's not real. Because why you write a whole song about me then? Think about it. But like, she's also saying, I'm not gonna let it destroy me either.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let it depress me. I'm not gonna let it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm reading this book right now. A lot of it is like that Epictetus quote where he says something to the effect of, it's not the situation that happens, it's how you interpret it that really causes you the distress. And I'm not sure how close to 100% true that is, but I will say it's like very true. And I think that a lot of your she could easily let the situation make her depressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
But I don't think she's going to interpret it. Like, you can interpret those breakups or those bad situations as, oh, he used me, or blah, blah, blah. I'll never be with anybody. You know, nobody's going to like me. I'll never be able to know if I'm really, you know, valuable to someone because I'm a rock star. I have to be with somebody in the industry. Like, there's a lot of reasons that a breakup or a bad moment in your relationship could really fuck with your head if you interpret it in the worst way possible. And the whole apologize thing, that's an interesting thing. But go ahead, what were you thinking about the song?
Well, she says,
look at this thirsty motherfucker, Anthony. There's some people I would just slap the shit out of if I saw him in real life, for real. Or shoot him, for real.
oh my gosh.
Or cut him.
Okay, well, just guess it doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, she says to him, clean the mess that you made, own up to the blame at the end of the day. So easy to say it's not your fault now, it's not your fault now. Apologize. So it kind of sounds like he doesn't want to take he doesn't want to take accountability for whatever happened. And he's saying, well, you know, it wasn't my fault because of this, that, and the other thing.
My hands were just moving.
Oh, my hands were just, yeah.
My hands are just moving.
Yeah, and so he's saying that, but she's telling him, like, it sounds like she just wants him to take accountability. I'm not even sure she wants to stay in the relationship with him, but she wants him to accept the responsibility that he has in the situation instead of saying it's not his fault. And then she got to yell, apologize. Then she says, nails on my skin just to check if my heart's still beating. Head in my hands, only I hear the quiet screaming.
Yikes.
That's real, you know? Like,
that's
when you're...
some real self-harm shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Shaking turns to crying in my short-lived fake delight. The bitterness of trying haunts me through the night.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the rock and roll lifestyle is hard on dudes. Just really, really hard on dudes. It must be very, very hard on females, emotionally speaking. Like, because it's that last thing that, like, oh, if I had this, it'd be perfect. But it's like such an impossible, especially when you're that young. When we were watching Selena, it was cool because it was a guitarist in her band.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's somebody in the industry, it's somebody that she can travel with. The dad didn't like it, but like now me as a father, I'm like, that would be the best of all possible worlds if my girls were, you know, rock stars. Like, I would want them to be with somebody in the band. Because there's just so many variables outside of
100%.
that. And they almost never work. I was like watching a retelling interview with Chris Brown and Rihanna, and a lot of it was Rihanna was going through his phone. She found some crazy girl that said some crazy reckless shit. And he's like, how am I supposed to know? But it's like, well, they hadn't seen each other like 2 months or something like that, because he's touring, she's touring, he's doing this, she's doing that. And so she's like, what have you been doing? And it's like, he makes very sexual music. And he's like, well, you make very sexual music. And she's like, come on, I'm a woman, I would never do that to you. Let me see your phone. And so he lets her see the phone because he didn't actually check all of his messages. And she just went, rrrr! And I was just watching, and I'm like, these kids, they were doomed. They were doomed. Like, there's no way that I just don't see how those relationships can really work when you're touring and you're the center of attention, and then your significant other is the center of attention, and you guys are hundreds of miles away, and I don't even believe anything nothing even necessarily has to happen. She could have saw a text and completely interpreted it, and he might be saying, I'm not apologizing for shit because I ain't do nothing to you. This is what I'm saying. Like, we're only seeing her side of the situation. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what this guy's saying. So I'm like, I'm like, man, like, dude, bro. What a hard, like, I wouldn't do it, man. If I was a giant rock star or whatever, I would not be in a relationship with another rock star. Like, I would be in a relationship with somebody who could, like, travel with me, or has a static location to where I could always come back to the person. But, like, if you're both in a situation where you're both the center of attention or something like that, I don't know. I don't see how something like that could work. But go
What do you
ahead.
think she meant by this? I'm smiling at a screen wearing a name that's not my own.
It's only those moments when you truly feel alone. I don't know. Maybe the person that she...
Or she said, lately I've been feeling something when I'm high on my meds. So I don't know if she doesn't recognize herself when she's up in that place, or...
Or maybe the guy is a movie person. Or a TV person. So she's watching him on the screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it says, I'm smiling at a screen wearing a name that's not my own.
Because she's not usually that kind of a person.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It's only those moments when you feel truly alone, because it's like she could only see him, through the barrier of the screen, and she can only fangirl, but she's not really that kind of a person because she's a big, I just think that those... But relationships in general are just so difficult to navigate if you're actually trying to be serious. But, like, that's the other thing. It's like, it sounded like it was like a fun type thing, like, oh, vice and fun and crime and whatever. And again, those are situations where the dude always ends up on top in those situations, because dudes could stay in that lane. Like, we could stay in that, yeah, let's just have fun, let's go around. And females generally have a much harder time of just remaining physical and playing around. Most females, they're gonna catch feelings and get,
Yeah.
I mean, they're all exceptions. They're all exceptions where it's like reversed. But in the most part, the dude will be fine with just like playing around and never really like escalating the relationship to anywhere. There are exceptions, but not many. And if you're the dude where the reverse is the exception, then you're paying the price for all the dudes everywhere where it's not. I really like the song. I would point out one last thing. The bitterness of trying haunts me through the night. That seems to be like, it's that whole like, oh, I was such an idiot that I whatever, where people just take that blame on themselves. Like, why did I try so hard? And that's definitely that's definitely a haunting and negative. Well, I'm not sure that's a blame thing as much as it might be a hopeless thing.
Yep, that's
like,
true.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could just be that, but it's like, like I said, the nature of the relationship sounded kind of like fun and play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't really look like a serious relationship.
Yeah. And
then things like that happen. It sucks. What do you give it?
Give this one a 9.
I'm gonna give this one a 9.5. 9.5, dear listener. Okay.
All right.
The next song.
James Blunt. Oh, give me the timestamp.
Well, we're gonna have to do some creative stuff here, because this is the official video.
Oh, right.
We're doing.
Right.
The easiest thing is to get everybody on Twitter. Can you go to Twitter and pin the thingamajiggy? I'm also gonna set up Rumble. Where are you at, Reamstream? I'm gonna set up Rumble. So if you guys go to rumble.com or Twitter. If you go to Twitter and you look for Vin Sori, the video is gonna be the very first video that you see. But we're gonna be doing a song by a fella that goes by the name of James Blunt is his name.
Mm-hmm. Pin to your profile.
But it's the official video, so we're gonna have to get a little bit creative.
Okay, I'm gonna post
the fascists at YouTube are gonna try to shut us down. Of course, this is not the one.
Here you go, you guys. Here is the link for Twitter, if you would like to go and Watch it over there.
Twitter really is the easiest way to do that one. Oh.
Franco, do you have Twitter or? Apologies. It's 2:31 in the morning. Morning. 2:31 in the morning.
Is it now? Is it now?
All right. Okay.
Go ahead, talk to the people.
Let's see what these comments are saying. DJ Franco has both. So if you have an issue with Rumble, just know he also is on Twitter.
Okay.
Ian, are you headed to bed now? Good night.
And you beautiful people, unfortunately, we're going to have to say good night to the wonderful, wonderful world of YouTube, because the song we're about to review right now is going to get us blocked for sure.
Okay. So head on over to one of those locations, and
we really believe that you should head on over to X or Twitter. That's the best thing. It's the quickest because it's right there. And it's pinned right to the top of our thingamajiggy.
Yeah, so it's right there. Also, I put the link here in the description. Not the description. Comment section. I put the link here so that way you can go straight to Twitter. There you go. Boy, Applejack is telling some interesting stories.
Wow, what's going on with Applejack?
Just talking about the past relationship. My first relationship was this goth girl cheerleader that would wear vampire costumes on regular days. Interesting.
I knew a girl like that for
Yep.
real.
Then he says her name's Sarah. Only time I was serious, and she ended up cheating on me with the ops. Yikes. And then he said,
Why do they do that, man? Damn. Why? Why gotta be the ops, girl? Damn.
And we were on and off for like 15 years. I used to be a hoe on her. That must be mean something else that I don't know. But after I went in for shooting old boy and serving them 7 years, Brooke and my mom was the only ones writing to me from start to finish. Oh wow. No.
I guess we can forgive her for that. Alright guys, in 2 minutes we will be migrating over to X because Rumble's sick anyway. We will be migrating right over to X.
Okay.
We are live
Take
on
the link.
X.
Take
Hit the link,
ladies
you
and gentlemen.
losers! Hit the link!
Head
Send her
on
the
over
link.
there. There
Send
it
her
is.
the link.
There's the link. Head on over there. Actually, I'm going to add it to this video as well, so in case anybody's like, wait, how?
Alright, so this is a dude by the name of James Blunt, is his name?
Yeah, okay, so James Blunt, the name of the song is Monsters.
Okay.
Excuse me. That's it. That's all it is.
Monsters is the name of the song.
Yep. Monsters is the name of the song. James Blunt is the artist.
Alright, so we are going to be bidding you adieu on the YouTube side. The YouTube side is going away. Good day to you YouTubians.
Links in the description if you want that Twitter
Link
spot.
is in the description. You're going to want it. I'm telling you, dear listener. I'm telling you, dear listener, you're going to want it. Yeah, but Anthony, that's not a compliment that you should have given. Okay, so we closed the thingy is closed. So sorry week 1, 52%. So 52% they want sorry week.
You guys are gonna regret that.
You're not gonna regret it, dear listener. She's a damn liar. You guys are gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy Sorry Week. Yeah, and Anthony, I would still slap the shit out of you if I saw you in real life. You wouldn't say some dumb shit like that about my wife right in front of me. If you're gonna be man enough to say that dumb shit, don't come back and be like, I was just giving her a compliment. That's what I tell the police. My hands were just giving that boy a compliment. Fucking old.
Jeez, baby.
Swear to God.
I don't know. I
Some
didn't
people
see
catch you on the wrong fucking day.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it, so I don't know.
Catch people on the wrong day.
I'm sure you shouldn't have said it. I'm sure you shouldn't have said it, Anthony.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said it, you little bitch ass.
All right.
Hold on, I gotta go. I gotta get this guy to pop back out. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
All right. So let's.
There it is.
James
All right.
Blunt.
Yes, James Blunt. It is. James Blunt. It is.
The name of the song is Monsters.
Monsters indeed. I am a monster. All right. How do I end stream? End stream.
Oh, there it is.
YouTube is gone.